Ready when you are. Alrighty. Quite all right, because you're still on the air. You're still on the air trying to do a morning show. Yeah. Ooh, not good. Oh, yay. Oh, that's good. All right. Still, I don't know, 5% of crash beats 100% of not having crash. It's kind of the way I look at it. Yeah. I think it's so funny the roles are reversed. Yeah. Well, yeah, and the control thing. The control thing. He's as fixed a sign as you are. Yes. I hope not. I certainly hope not. But it certainly will test that square between the two of you. Because Leo is a fixed sign, just like Aquarius is. I mean, just like Taurus is a fixed sign. So this is the first time the roles are reversed, where he is not in charge. So I think that's a challenge for any man to start out with. Just from the get go, that's a challenge for men in general. All right. Man, I'm doing great. So happy to be here. So happy to be on the air. So happy. So happy it's April. Yes, actually, there is. There is indeed. Once a month, the moon is in the same sign as the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is the great beneficent, bestows abundance wherever it goes. So once a month, when the moon co-joins Jupiter, it's your lucky day. And it depends on where it is in your astrological chart as to what type of luck you have. So that's one of the things we'll be addressing along with Mercury, the planet of communication, leading whiny Pisces, going into very aggressive, very assertive, very direct, very, let's get answers kind of Aries. So I think that's good news. I think it's kind of interesting to see where those two energies are going to line up this week for people. So I thought we would start with that. What do you think? Yeah? Alrighty. For Aries, the sign that we are in, their luck, first of all, Mercury is in their sign. And when Mercury is in your sign, they literally have to rip your fingernails out to get you to shut up, to get you to stop talking. And Aries have no trouble talking to start out with, so then you add Mercury in their sign, and they're very opinionated people. You will hear, much like my rising sign, you will hear exactly what they think. So that's kind of interesting for them. And Aries, with the sun being in their sign, also they are going to try to do whatever it takes to get their wants and needs met and to put them at the top of the list rather than at the bottom or the middle. And they want to be first. So that's interesting. Their good luck this week comes from the group's activity, believe it or not, because this Jupiter Venus conjunction is in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. So you have to like that. And it'll be through the help of their, because Aquarius is a masculine sign, the Aries will benefit through the help of their masculine, their male friends and colleagues are the ones that are going to be helping the Aries out a bit. And I have to laugh because tomorrow's Tuesday and Crash is coming back. So your rising sign is Aries. Yeah, of course. But that's also, part of the, to be for you, the Aries rising, to be successful, male friends and colleagues are going to help you out to do that. So I think that's kind of fun to see for Aries. For Tauruses, they have to be really, really careful. Aries is their 12th house, it's behind their sign. Mercury in Aries means the best thing for Taurus is really to do is to say, I will take that under advisement and think about it rather than try to make a very, because Tauruses don't make quick decisions. They like to take in information. They like to think about how it's going to impact them and everything else that they were thinking about before they can go ahead and change their mind. So, if you try to approach a Taurus this week with a I need an answer right now, that answer is going to be no. So you need to give them a little time to think about what it is they are going to say and how it is they are going to say it. So their best advice is to avoid any kind of being put on the spot, decide right now kind of thing, because that would be likely to change for them. Their luck this week, because Taurus has Aquarius at the very top of their chart, their 10th house of career and public standing. So then there are some career issues that they will, if they're really trying to press their career agenda, they will have the most success doing that on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. As far as, if you're negotiating, if you're doing any kind of communicating with the powers that be, it's a really good time on Tuesday and Wednesday. They'll be able to kind of ask for a little more than they thought that they deserve and get more than they hoped for. Not as much as they're asking for, but more than they hoped for. Does that make sense? Oh, good. Okay, because it doesn't make any sense to me when I see that. I go, wait a minute. But my rising sign is not Taurus. It's very hard for you to fathom that. For Geminis, this energy is in the 9th house of the law. Legal matters, educational matters. Reaching a broader audience with your words is kind of the idea behind that. And I had to laugh because Donald Trump, the Gemini, just said, kick me off social media. That's okay. I'll start my own social media. Because he wants to get his bully pulpit back to reach a larger audience with his words. So for Geminis everywhere, the law's on their side. They want to go ahead and use that. They want to, they're planning some long distance travel, trying to get more out and about in the world. And you see that with the United States opening up, because our rising sign is Gemini. And the U.S. is opening back up, and not just, and God bless Florida, we've been open the whole time, but the rest of the country is going, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So for Geminis everywhere, and I had to laugh because if we were trying to entice a Gemini, one of the suggestions would be, hey, you've got some long distance travel up ahead. Why don't you fly back here and check us out? Kind of a deal. I think that's kind of interesting for Geminis. For Cancers, this energy is in the 8th house of profound change. There's some sort of outstanding revelation that occurs for Cancers, and it comes midweek with Jupiter and where Jupiter and Venus are co-joined, and the Moon is co-joined. There is some sort of new piece of information that comes to light that makes it easier for the Cancer to deal with some sort of emotionally upsetting kind of an energy. And it's because something new comes to light that changes, probably not the circumstance itself, but how the Cancer is going to think about that, which is not a bad thing either for them. And it makes them, something that had been hard for them to swallow becomes a little easier to swallow, something that had been difficult for them to deal with, because Cancers are very indirect. Their sign is the first of the water signs, and it's one of the mute signs. It's represented by a creature that has no vocal cords. So although Cancers can talk up a storm about where they went, what they did, who they did it with, what they did, when it comes down to how do you feel, they think, man, if you really loved me, needed me, wanted me, cared about me, you know what I want, you know what I need, I wouldn't have to tell you. So for them, having something new comes to light that gives them the voice that they didn't have. It makes it a lot easier for them to communicate. And once they're able to do that, they can then go ahead and push their agenda, which is something they would like to do, their professional agenda too. For Leos, this energy is in the 7th house of Mercury is in their 9th house of the law, so there are contracts, negotiations, agreements, trying to work, I like that, at a distance kind of a deal is something for Leos. But their lucky day comes on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's in their public image, in not so much their professional image, but their public image, that they get to reconnect with partners, they get to work something out with partners. If they're in a partnership, there's a back and forth that's going to go on. And to Leos everywhere, I say, consider your partner. Leos are not big fans of that because Leos are ruled by the sun, and the sun is the center of the solar system, and all of the planets revolve around the sun, and Leos go, yes, that's exactly the way it should be. Except this week when the emphasis is on their partners and their intimate one-to-one relationships. So there may be a subtle shifting of the Leo saying, okay, partner, I'm going to rely on you to do this kind of a deal rather than going at it alone. So for Leos, yeah, so that's not bad news for them. And they come off looking better than they thought they would, actually, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Yes, for Virgos, it's how can I maximize an existing resource? How can I capitalize on a resource that I already have? Rather than looking for new ones to try and capitalize on or maximize, it's take a look around your environment, see what resources you already have, and go, how can I maximize them? How can I capitalize on them instead of looking for new ones? And then their lucky break comes with either a health matter, or a better working situation. This is not changing professions. This is more about where it is you do your job. There's some sort of lucky opportunity occurs for them through work or with one of their responsibilities, works out very favorably for the Virgo. And it gives them an opportunity to expand their job a bit, and hopefully and I don't think there's more money right away, unfortunately. But I think that if they play their cards right, this can lead to more money for them. So I think that that's good. And good news comes about a health matter that they were dealing with. So you have to like that too. For Libras, out of all the signs, Libras have Mercury in their seventh house of partners. Their partners, and Libras are always hooked up with somebody. A Libra does not let go of a relationship until they have another one lined up, because that's just how they are. They're the most partner-oriented of all of the signs of the zodiac. And so this time they have younger partners making demands on the Libra, and the Libra's not so sure they want to go along with it, but they really should, because the partner actually has a very valid point in what it is that they're saying. And really what they're saying is, I want the same rights you have in this relationship, and I'm willing to work for that, or work towards that, or at least to open up lines of communication or dialogues about that, because Libra is a cardinal air sign, meaning I'm the boss. I might be polite about it, but I'm the boss nonetheless. So, and then for them, this lucky thing, I gotta tell you, I'm not a big fan of gambling, but boy, if I was a Libra or Libra rising, I'd buy a lottery ticket on Tuesday or Wednesday. Because the moon's in their fifth house of amusement, sports, pleasures, entertainment, anything fun, anything that's a good time. And it also rules gambling. So I guess I might also bet on Gonzaga tonight, too, for that matter. You know, yeah. I know that. I know, and they were in Lutz at the Lutz Publix, which is the Avila Publix. And it's sort of like, really? Really, I'm sure somebody from Avila won that. And they went, oh yeah, I have that kind of $238 million. I find that on my couch, kind of a deal. So, oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah, no. Avila is the new money, the new big money. Old money in Tampa is in South Tampa. But the new big money is in Avila. That's where like Derek Jeter had a house originally. A lot of ball players are in there. I think Lou Piniella still lives in there. So, but Tony Dungy lived in there, because I actually saw him at that Publix one time. Because I live in Lutz, but not behind the walls is the way we like to refer to it. So, and I did not win that lottery, which is why I'm on the air right now. So, for Libras everywhere, it's a good. Me too. Yeah, I like being on the air. Yeah, you wouldn't want me out in the heat or something flipping bonbons in the air. For Scorpio, this energy is in their sixth house of work. Scorpios everywhere are really being bold. And I have to laugh because Joe Biden's a Scorpio, and he went, okay, well, if you're not going to work with me, I'm just going to ram this legislation in while I got a majority. So for Scorpios everywhere, it is about them doing their job and being the leader in doing their job, setting a good example, embracing new techniques at work or new ideas at work or new ways of doing things at work. So for Scorpios everywhere, every year or so, they want to take a hard look at everybody wants to do that, but for Scorpios right now, it's a good time to take a hard look at where it is they do their job and to embrace whatever new changes, because Scorpio is a fixed sign, meaning don't confuse me with the facts my mind is made up. And so a lot of times they have a hard time in being the first one or the leader to embrace new ideas, a new way of doing things. And for Scorpios, you should really take the lead on this, and you need to be assertive, not aggressive. And then for them, their lucky break comes at home somehow, one way or the other. The Jupiter Moon conjunction is in their fourth house of home, so something good happens to them at home. Hard to tell what it is, but that's where their luck is this week. Their lucky day, Tuesday, Wednesday, impacts things at home. For Sagittarians, this energy is in the fifth house of Mercury is in Aries. It's in Sagittarius' fifth house of amusements, pleasures, sports, entertainment, romance, love, creativity, children, all of the fun things to do, all of the fun byproducts of doing things, because the fifth house is what you love. And so for them, it's a really fun time involving their creativity. They're over the last 30 days or so, a bit sort of like a dark night of their soul. Mercury's in their fourth house of home. They kind of kept their thoughts to themselves, their ideas to themselves, everything, while they tried to get back on track. And now with Mercury going into Aries, they're like, okay, I'm ready to come out and play again. I want to play, I want to have fun, I want to have a good time, I want to be creative. All of that is very positive for the Sagittarian. It also, because and their luck comes from their third house of day-to-day living, short distance, short duration travel, finding a way to use I laugh at this too, finding a way to use third millennium technology to make their day-to-day living easier. So, and that kind of a deal. So I think it's a very, out of all the signs, I think Sagittarian has the most fun with this energy, which is kind of nice too. Because yes, for our Capricorns, this energy, Aries is their fourth house of home, and they have been home long enough that they've fixed all the things inside their house, and now they're ready to take a look at the outside of their house. They want to start some very ambitious plans. And to Capricorns everywhere, I say to you, make sure you know where the load-bearing walls are before you start knocking stuff down. And remember that every wall you paint, the one next to it looks dingy. It's that kind of thing where it ends up you start doing one thing, and then you don't finish that because that leads you to another project. And then that project needs to be done before you can do the third one. So it becomes one of those, all I'm saying to Capricorns is have a plan on how you're going to do it. Because what I've learned is that when you do change orders in the field, it costs you 20% more from your contractor. So, yeah, you want to be careful with that. And then as far as luck goes, Capricorns have luck this moon and Jupiter in their second house of money. So, financially, yeah, and I keep thinking, your buddy who is coaching for Gonzaga, would probably get a bonus if they win, wouldn't he? That would be my thought. Yeah, that would be my thought. And so, for looking at the two coaches, the Gonzaga coach is a Capricorn, the Baylor coach is a Scorpio. Scorpio is going to be at home a lot more. I think that bodes well for Gonzaga, to tell you the truth, because yes, yay, I know. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be just fabulous? I would love that. But it indicates more money for them. So, and that's a pretty cool thing in and of itself. And it's sort of that same energy the Bucks found themselves in when they won the Super Bowl, because they had plenty of money to sign all the starters, and the Bucks being a Capricorn as well. And then for Aquarians, this Moon and Jupiter conjunction are in Aquarius. So no matter what, Aquarians have the hot hand, the magic touch. They have, everything seems to go very favorably for Aquarians over the next 3 weeks or so. It's favorable. They are the ones that reach out first. They can cut themselves a pretty good deal. They can negotiate a fairly nice position for themselves. And this week pretty much guarantees that the Aquarian gets what the Aquarian says that they want. You gotta like that too if you're an Aquarian. I wish I was one right about now. I'd like that a lot better than, yay, better work for you, Janet. I would rather, I'd rather get what I wanted, so. But they have a lot more ability to move around the world. Their freedom of movement comes back for them, which is kind of nice. But that's more short distance, short duration travel. And that's also taking some sort of class over the next 3 weeks or so, because that's how long Mercury will stay in that sign. I mean, it's not like getting a master's degree. It's some sort of paperwork or some sort of a square you have to fill in order to get to the next point, is what goes on for Aquarians. And then for the last time we're going to talk about for Pisces, poor Pisces, they suffer so much. Mercury's in their second house of money, so they will be making more money or finding a way. That's really their focus for the next 30 days is how can I make more money? And how can I have more money at the end of my month and more month at the end of my money? And the trouble with that is with this Jupiter moon thing, it's in their 12th house of helping other people out. So the good luck doesn't really fall for the Pisces. The good luck is for anyone that gets the Pisces to go to bat for them. Kind of, yes, 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 yes. I know. I'd rather have luck and money, to tell you the truth, than saying, yeah, I help somebody out. But that's, it's kind of where the chips fall. It's where the energy falls. Pisces have done really well the last month because Mercury has been in their sign, and now it's in how can I make more money kind of a deal. And the big thing is don't give your money to your friends, because Pisces are very sympathetic. They're very empathetic. They feel for other people. And so they can get conned more easily than any other sign because they really want to believe in the goodness of people kind of a deal. So it's behind the scenes stuff. Make sure if you're going to give money to your friends that they're not just saying, ooh, I need your help, because they know the Pisces will respond to that, because they do. So tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac. Yeah. Yeah, I just think we can really use that. I really do. And that's Tuesday and Wednesday. We can really, really use that. Just a little bit of a break. Maybe stop shooting at people, that kind of a deal. I like to think that will go. you know? So, all right, go Gonzaga. Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's right. That's exactly right. Yes. I promise. A pleasure. I promise. No, the Bolts. The Bolts. You know, every now and then they get kind of complacent and go, yeah, yeah, we got this. And then they get humiliated and go, oh, yeah, sorry, we forgot. Now we have to bring our intensity back. And I think that happens this week, too. So, good news for them. Gotta like that. Yeah, no. Always a pleasure.